3 years ago, I switched my main photo editing software from Adobe Lightroom to Capture One, and I never thought that I would say it, but it's time to switch back. And you might be thinking, what could have possibly happened between then and now that would make me change my mind? Well, quite a lot, actually. Both pieces of software have gained the ability to do things that the other one could do first, and both have improved in a lot of ways over those 3 years. But as it currently stands, there are a handful of things that are pulling me towards switching to Lightroom. So in this video, I want to talk about 7 reasons that I'm switching back to Lightroom, as well as talk about some of the things and features that I'm going to miss about Capture One. So secure the cup, and let's get into it. Before I dive into the first reason that I'm switching, I want to make it really clear that this isn't me saying that Lightroom is objectively superior or that I think everyone should be using one or the other necessarily, even though the algorithm would absolutely love if I would be super divisive like that. This is just where I'm at right now and taking a look at the things that excite me and what I need. And a bit of a funny aside, I made a similar video about 2 years ago talking about switching the other way, and a lot of the things that I said I would miss about Lightroom have come back up here too. But with that said, let's dive into the first reason that I'm excited to get back into Lightroom, the masking capabilities. Funny enough, Capture One has recently added some really amazing AI masking features that nearly catch it up to what Lightroom has been doing for the last year or so, but Lightroom still has some serious advantages here. First of all, I think Lightroom just does a better job at automatically detecting and masking objects, subjects, and, well, whatever you need it to. This is fully subjective and I have no scientific tests or anything to prove it necessarily, but my experience has been that when I use the auto masking features in Lightroom, it gives me more of what I was hoping for. But beyond that, the masking also has nearly endless capabilities in Lightroom that you don't necessarily get in Capture One. You can select objects with either the marquee or the brush tool. You can add or subtract any kind of mask to your current mask layer. So I could do an object with a radial or multiple objects in the same mask layer. And then you can also intersect masks with your current mask too. So doing things like selecting the sky, but then also intersecting it with a linear gradient are super easy to do. And one of my absolute favorite features is the AI people selection that automatically detects not only the people in frame for masking, but also things like the facial skin, body skin, different parts of the eye, lips, hair, facial hair, and clothing. So if I want to sharpen the eyes, smooth the skin, and bring up the exposure on a person in frame, I'm no longer trying to manually draw in all those masks. On a related note, the next reason for heading back to Lightroom is the way that it handles copy, paste, and syncing of edits. Let's say, for example, I've got a whole folder of photos of myself in a bunch of different poses. What can I say? I'm vain. In Lightroom, if I use those masking capabilities to make adjustments to things like my eyes, skin, clothing, or even the sky, basically anything that's automatic, then I can copy and paste my edits to another photo or sync a whole folder full of photos, and it will automatically recalculate those masks for each individual photo. So if the subject has moved, it'll find the new subject location. Whereas currently in Capture One, it would only paste over the placement that the mask ended up in that first photo, as if the subject or the composition hasn't moved at all. The next reason for hopping back into Lightroom is the reasonably new AI Denoise feature. This feature seems to be connected with the photo enhance section with the super resolution feature as well, which is also awesome. And the AI noise reduction works extremely well, and it removes the need to move over to Photoshop or to round trip to other third-party tools to do really great noise reduction. It does still work similarly to those other third-party tools in that it does make a second noise reduced copy of the photo, but it's a DNG file that seems to have all the editing capabilities of the original. In fact, one of the things that I love about this way of doing it compared to using third-party plugins is that I can be halfway through my edit, decide that I want to denoise, create that denoised version, and then just keep on editing while retaining the ability to reset my edits or make minor adjustments to them. With other methods I've used, when you do the denoising, you either want to do it as the very first thing, or you want to make sure that you're okay with all the baked in edits that you've done up to that point. And now for a Lightroom classic, pun intended. the Calibration Tools. This is a unique color editing tool that allows you to adjust the hue and saturation not of the colors that we actively see in the photo itself, but of the base red, green, and blue of the actual pixels. This isn't something that I use on every photo, but it can be a really unique way to adjust the photo for more stylized results, and from time to time it can help to fix unpleasing color casts in your images as well. I never quite know exactly how it's going to affect the image, but it can be really fun to play around with to achieve unique and stylized results. Something that I actually mentioned in my previous switching to Capture One video was that I was going to miss the presets in Lightroom. It is such a widely used piece of software that there are tons of great presets out there. I even have 2 preset packs that you can get from my site. And when I switched over to Capture One, they use something called styles that I never really found to be as enticing or easy to use as the way that Lightroom presets worked. Now, at the time, I figured that maybe I would just get used to them, maybe make a bunch of styles eventually, and then it would kind of end up being the same. But it never did. For some reason, the preset workflow in Capture One never felt as smooth or simple as it does in Lightroom, and so I'm very excited to get back to using more presets again. The next reason hit me super hard the minute I opened Lightroom back up for the first time in a couple of years, and that is that it's so easy to use. I don't want to say that Capture One is difficult to use by any means. A lot of the features are basically the same across the two, but there is something about the user interface and the functionality of the editing tools in Lightroom that make it so simple. It's laid out in such a way that makes it obvious where things are and how they're intended to be used, but I also feel like when I change something, it does what I thought it should do. That sounds like a weird thing to say because tools generally should do what you expect them to do, but something about Capture One makes it feel a bit more clinical and scientific, whereas Lightroom feels a bit more subjective or something like that. Now, one isn't necessarily better than the other, but there is something satisfying about when you adjust the highlight slider and it actually adjusts what you thought were highlights, not necessarily what would scientifically be considered the highlights of the image. I have no idea if what I'm trying to say is translating, but I promise that this was a real thing that I experienced. And the last reason that I'm excited to get back into Lightroom before I talk about the things that I'll miss from Capture One is because of the Photoshop features that seem to trickle down. Over the past year or so, I found myself more and more round-tripping my images from Capture One over into Photoshop just to use 1 or 2 tools that Photoshop had and Capture One didn't. But the beauty of Photoshop and Lightroom being owned by the same company is that a lot of those Photoshop features seem to trickle into Lightroom eventually as well. Things like the masking options that I talked about earlier or content-aware fill, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some of the generative fill options added into Lightroom in the future too. With all the advances of AI and photo editing technology that Adobe has been making in the past few years, it's got me really excited about what's going to make it into Lightroom next. And the more that I can stay within that one program, the better. But of course, it's not all rainbows and lollipops, and there are things that I am definitely going to miss about Capture One. First and foremost, the layers functionality. This is something that I have been waiting for Lightroom to add for ages, and they've kind of done it with the way that masking works now. But in Capture One, when you create a new layer, you basically have all of the editing tools available to you to use on that layer. Whereas when you create a new mask layer in Lightroom, you are somewhat limited in what the tools are that you can use. They have slightly improved this since the last time that I used it, and they've added something called point color, which definitely helps a bunch, but you're still missing some tools when you're adding a new mask layer, and it would just be great to have everything available to you. One of my favorite tools that I'll definitely miss from Capture One is the skin tone tool, and also the advanced color tool. The skin tone tool allows you to select your ideal skin tone and then pull in the hue, saturation, and luminance of other colors that are close to that color to get a more unified skin tone. But you can also use it for things like matching your sky with your watercolors or keeping foliage more consistent in tone as well. There are definitely ways to accomplish similar things in Lightroom, again, especially with that new point color tool, but it's so much more robust in Capture One when you include the advanced color and the skin tone tool. Another thing that I'm going to miss from Capture One is the dual workflow of sessions and catalogs. Sessions function kind of as mini mini catalogs for just a single project. And then catalogs function the same way that a Lightroom catalog does, making it easy to search amongst a huge amount of photos, maybe over the course of a year or a quarter, depending on how often you want to make a new catalog. I really loved having the option of doing this in Capture One and liked being able to import my sessions into a catalog after I was done with them if I wanted to. But with that being said, I think I have a bit of a workaround for that in Lightroom that I'm going to be trying over the next little while. In the new version of Lightroom CC, they've added local editing, which means you don't have to use the cloud and you also don't have to import anything. It just creates an XMP file that sits beside the original photo containing all of the edit information. All of this edit information would be stored within the catalog file in Lightroom Classic. So my idea is to treat Lightroom CC, or what I believe they're now just calling Lightroom, as my sessions. So I can do quick edits without having to import or organize anything into my catalog. And then when I'm ready, I can import all of those files into Lightroom Classic's catalog and update the metadata automatically from those XMP files. I've tested this out a bit already and it seems to work really well for me, so I'm excited to see how this will work in a more long-term workflow. But as always, I want to hear from you too. What photo editing software are you using and why? Leave a comment down below and let me know if there's anything that you want me to cover in Lightroom now that I'm back in it. I'm excited to be doing more Lightroom videos again. If you got something out of this, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.